an agenda, I've never seen one, and I've been to these before. But I'm sure they have, but we don't know.
Test 1, 2. The meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for June 28, 2017 will now come to order. Roll call.
Mr. Bacilli. Mr. Corrin is absent. Mr. D'Angelo. Mr. Mazzoni. Mr. Tucker.
Present.
It's our understanding that Mr. Colometto has resigned from the board. First matter before the board is application A1713, which was continued for the meeting of May 24, 2017. This is the application of 90 Ocean Avenue LLC, 140 Tremont Street, Everett, requesting a parking variance to enable the appellant to construct 75 residential apartment units at 90 Ocean Avenue in Revere.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Corey Rhodes. I'm an attorney with D'Ambrosio Brown, LLP, 14 Proctor Avenue in Revere. We represent 90 Ocean Avenue, LLC. You may remember this property from back in August of last year, where the applicant was approved for a 5-story building with 60 units. This is currently an active project, but recently the owner was approached by the city about incorporating some various streetscape designs, facade changes, improved sidewalks, lighting, just a whole host of construction aspects to this property to bring it into harmony with kind of the neighborhood and the feel that the city is looking for. This was a proposal that was developed by the Economic Development Director, Bob O'Brien, and I believe in your packets there is a letter of support detailing kind of the city's plan here and why they're looking for these changes to be approved to the variance. Along with building these new sidewalks up and down Ocean Avenue and lighting and certain streetscape and street activation improvements, the developer obviously is going to incur some significant additional costs, and that's why the city negotiated with him to add in an additional floor to this property. This will bring it to 75 units in total, and it will be a 6-story building. The parking for this project will be at a 1-to-1 ratio. Unlike some other projects in the city that have had some difficulties, in the leases for these properties, they are specifically restricted that each unit can only have 1 car at most. Anything beyond that is strictly prohibited. And even on top of that, the parking spaces are not an additional charge as part of the rent. These units are not charged an extra space if they have a car. They are specifically assigned to each unit so that we're not going to get people parking on the street. These are going to be parking spaces if a person has a car, which they may not because it's very close to the Revere Beach Station. They will be parking at this property and not up and down Ocean Avenue. Again, these are aspects that have been brought to the developer by the city, something that they're really encouraged to do. They think this area is already overzoned for parking spaces, and they think that this is going to bring it into closer harmony with what they want to do in the future in developing this to be an active and vibrant area of the city. And they think this is one step towards that. Again, we have a support of the Economic Development Director. I have more copies of his letter of support, really detailing all the significant benefits that even doing this change to the variance will have, one of which is going to be requiring the developer to spend quite a bit of additional money on improvements to the property, as well as a direct payment to the city's Community Improvement Trust Fund. And this is money that's used directly by the city to improve this ward, improve this area. We have, we have a lot of activity here, and we think this is a good proposal for this property and should bring a lot of vibrancy to the area. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you have or go over it in more detail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing that it's a public hearing, I'll go on and ask, are there any proponents? Anyone in favor? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any opposition? Anyone opposed? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Any members wish to speak? I just want it on record that we do have a letter from Bob O'Brien, and we will ask that that letter be incorporated into any votes regarding the lease restrictions and parking included in the rent. That is a big plus if they can do that. No, that's the one we have. It's in the letter that we all received, yes. We can go on to the next calendar item number.
The next application before the board is application A1715. This is the application of Wilmar and Jacqueline Terminio, 37 Savage Street, Revere, requesting side yard and number of building stories variances to enable the appellant to construct a first floor and second floor addition to an existing two-family dwelling on Lot Dash at 37 Savage Street, Revere.
Okay, could the clerk please disclose to the applicant regarding our members? There's 5-member board. We have a member missing, so normally it would be 2 votes that would cancel, and tonight, having 4 members, it would be 1 vote that would stop this project. So if you would like to continue this till we have another member in audience, on board here, you're welcome to do that. We can continue with the hearing, and then if you wish at the end to ask for a continuance, please do. But where it's a public hearing, we will go on with the public hearing. So
Thank you,
please
sir.
present.
My name is Benny Bear. I'm the architect for the project. The owner is not present here, has authorized me to represent them this afternoon. The existing property is a 2-family house at the end of a dead-end street, 37 Savage Street. It has 1 residential unit in the lower level. It has a second residential unit in the upper level. The lower level qualifies as a full story here because of its vertical relationship to grade. The proposed project is to add another floor on top of the upper level and incorporate that as a part of the upper residential unit. We would still have 2 families on this lot. We would continue the existing stairs. Currently, the entrance is at midpoint between the lower level and the upper level. We would continue the stair going up to the second floor, and this is what we're proposing and what we're requesting relief from. The existing structure is an existing non-conforming side yard. We're proposing to construct the addition on the existing footprint without expansion of the existing footprint. And because the existing structure qualifies as a two-story building, the addition would constitute technically a third story, and for that we need a relief here. In this zoning district, we're allowed to have 2.5 stories. We think that we meet requirements for a variance with this proposed project. The denial of this relief would constitute a hardship for the owners. It's a young and growing family. Right now they have a 2-bedroom residential unit with 1 bathroom. The addition would expand their residential unit and allow the family to go in more comfortable circumstances. We think that the existing lot the existing structure on this lot is unique in that just by a few inches of elevation, the what we call the basement level or the lower level qualifies as a story. Otherwise, we would be able to construct the addition by right as far as the number of stories are concerned. We think that the proposed project does not derogate from the zoning bylaw and from the character of the neighborhood. It's consistent with the character of the neighborhood. I have here a rendering of what it would look like. It looks like a 2-story house on the street. It doesn't look like a 3-story house. And we are here asking for relief. We hope that you find in our favor.
Okay, thank you. Seeing that it's a public hearing, we'll ask if there's any proponents. Anyone in favor? If they're in favor, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. Are there any opponents? Anyone opposed? I ask that you step up to the microphone, clearly state your name and address, and then,
Francis Karsha.
okay, if you put that mic down a little bit so they can hear you, that will move. Yep, beautiful.
Francis Karsha, 44 Oakwood Avenue, Abutter.
Could you hear that, John? Could you move the mic down so that it's near your voice? There you go, thank you. Okay,
Francis Karsha, 44 Oakwood Avenue, we're in Abutter.
he just has to find you first on there. Are you the owner of as an abutter?
Part of it, yeah, my husband and I.
Could you spell the last name?
COSCIA.
All set, John? Okay. No, you can state your fact, okay.
Okay, we don't approve, okay?
For what reason, ma'am? You have to have a reason of opposing it.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's a very, very crowded street. We have friends that we'd like to visit, and right now, it's so crowded with cars and everything else. And going up, if I understood, I really couldn't understand him too well. I don't know whether he's coming back this way, or he's going up.
He's raising the house, going higher.
He's going higher. Okay, so that would make it like a 3-family?
It's a 2-family unit.
But another floor would make it a 3-family, right?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
So what is the 3rd level going to be?
The living space, but not the roof area, but there's another level of living space.
Like bedrooms?
We can ask that question after we'll get you an answer before we vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all righty.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Lucille Sharp, and I abut them right beside this property. And my objection...
What address, please?
Huh?
Your address?
43 Savage Street.
Thank you.
And my primary objection is parking, number one. I brought you some pictures as evidence to show you what it's like now. There's at least, at the minimum, 5 cars there on a normal day, and then he brings in this gigantic truck, a moving van, and parks it in his driveway occasionally, and sometimes parks it on the street, which makes it very difficult for us on a dead-end street to maneuver our cars. And, you know, I've read the ordinances and the parking. I understand that you're only allowed to have a 1-ton truck on your property, which is a pickup truck, as I understand the law. Number two, I have really no objection to them raising the roof. However, I would like my objection noted that there should not be another kitchen upstairs. Okay? And number three, the property, I mean, they're lovely people, and I wish them the best. However, the property is a mess, and this is a beautiful neighborhood. And we all try to be considerate of one another and help, you know, keep the neighborhood up. But I showed you pictures of the backyard, the pool area. Everything is just horrible. So it's my concern that this construction is even going to be more problems in the neighborhood as it is. And as a result, it appreciates our value, as you guys know. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Any other opponents?
Hi.
Good afternoon. State your name and address for the record, please.
Angela DeCandia. I live at 40 Savage Street.
Okay.
I'm right across the street from Jackie and Will. The only thing that I'm concerned with, well, when I got this letter, it said that they were requesting a side yard and a number of stories, so I didn't know if it was going to be another apartment or just another level for maybe some bedrooms or whatever. I didn't really understand it. So the only really thing that I'm concerned with is the parking is crazy. So when I come out of my driveway, our driveways are opposite each other, so when I come out of my driveway, there's at least 5 cars that are there now, sometimes 6, then the big truck. So I'm always having a hard time getting out if the truck is parked this way or, you know, whatever, if there's cars in the front there. So when I heard this or saw this, I was concerned with how many people, is it for them and, you know, their children, which is fine, or is it because they're gonna have more people moving in? Because right now, I don't know who lives there or how many people live there, because I see people going in and out all the time. I don't know who lives there really. I know the married couple and the 2 kids, but other than that, I see an old lady, an old guy, another guy with a kid. You know, they're always walking in and out, so I don't really know who lives there. So my main thing would be the parking situation. I'm really nervous about that, which, like I said, we're on a dead end. It is a nice, beautiful area. I've lived there since I was 3. I built next door to my mom and dad. So I've been there, you know, forever, my life. And that's really the only thing that I want to, you know, bring up as
Okay.
far as, you know, this letter.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Are there
thank
any
you.
other opponents? Hearing none, I'll close that side of the hearing. If you could please step up to the microphone, name and address for the record.
Yes, my name is Frank Timon. I live at 52 Oakwood Ave. I own the house with my wife, Ann.
52
Oakwood.
Oakwood Ave. Okay.
Reason why I'm here, I was concerned about the height as well as the traffic. Very obvious. The truck is parked sometimes on Savage Street, and sometimes it's on Griffin. And I know from the being over at the DeCandias, there's quite a bit of cars. So basically, that's why I came today. I was hoping it was not going to be a 3-story high building, and at least my fear for that is alleviated. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. To the
Can I ask you just to define what the side parking is that they're talking about?
Okay, we're going to ask him that question. To the architect who's representing the applicant, the plan itself does not depict the parking spaces as required on our application. So do you know, are they having 4 parking spaces, so they're not asking for a variance for parking? Because this is a 2-family home right now on the record?
It is on the record, a 2-family home. It's the, there's a copy of the certificate right on the cover sheet of the drawings that were submitted here. It is,
He gave us a certificate, sir?
Here's a certificate of occupancy for 2-family, issued December 16th, 1999.
Okay.
Read around inspected.
Okay. So, for one, we would have to have this, the plan conforming to our standards, which would require you to have all the zoning on the plan, to have the parking depicted on the plan. So I will be asking for this to be continued so that that can be done.
Okay.
The other concerns, though, that are being raised are valid, because when I went down there, it does look like it's a commercial area, and it's not. There's trucks all over the place with vehicles. So he would need 4 parking spaces on the property, or he'd have to ask for a variance for that. Am I correct, clerk? So that's one of the things that he would have to do, and I don't believe that he's looking for a parking variance here.
are the 4 spaces 2 per unit?
It's 4 spaces, yes, 2 per unit.
Okay, we're not increasing the number of units. So we're not changing the parking requirement currently.
Well, the parking requirement now is 4 spaces, so does he have 4 spaces on that property? It doesn't look like that. He's probably under the old non-conforming and not having the proper parking.
Okay, I was under the impression that, and I apologize for it, that the survey engineer that prepared the site plan included the parking on his plan, but I will accept the continuance to show that because I don't see that. I'd like to address some of the concerns of the opposition. Like I said, the parking situation, I don't see that changing relative to the current situation simply because we're not adding units. There will be no additional family units in this house. There is no kitchen on the upper floor. No kitchen is proposed. The truck that's been mentioned here, the owner happens to be an over-the-road driver. That's his occupation. Again, I'm an architect. My job is to help him design his addition, but there's really nothing in the design that has anything to do with the truck. The height, as one of the sections shows here, the total height from the entrance, which is at grade, to the highest point of the roof is less than 24 feet, which is not a high structure. And it's nowhere near the height limit in this zoning district. So,
Just for the record, that is supposed to be depicted on the plan.
it is.
No, the current zoning with the proposed and the required should be on the plan. It's listed in our application packet,
Okay.
that should be on the plan. All of the zoning requirements should be listed on the plan. Now, so currently the first floor is a unit, am I correct?
How do we define a first floor? We have a lower, below grade, and an upper.
The basement level.
The basement level is a unit, yes.
And that's how many bedrooms?
It's a two-bedroom.
And then we're going to the next floor up, which I would say is the first floor.
The first floor is a two-bedroom currently, and we're proposing to add 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs.
So the first level right now would be kitchen, living room, that's currently, you're just going up one more floor to add bedrooms, am I correct?
Bedrooms and bathrooms, that's all.
No habitation other than, I mean, no kitchen or anything up
No
there? It would be
kitchen,
just,
No kitchen, no living.
so for the first level, it's currently 2 bedrooms, and what are you proposing?
We're not changing it, we're just...
It's staying the same on the
staying
first
same.
level.
That's
The
right.
addition that you'll be raising and adding would be 3 bedrooms and a bathroom?
3 bedrooms and a bathroom. One of the bedrooms is a master suite, yes.
So it's 1 bathroom or 2 bathrooms?
2 bathrooms.
So the master suite would have a bathroom, and then there'd be a bathroom for the other 1 bedroom, so it's 3 bedrooms, so the other 2 bedrooms would be,
We'll share a bathroom.
okay, so 3 bedrooms on the third level.
No, I'm sorry, 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, 2 baths, yes.
Okay. And then the roof structure would be a peak roof, nothing up there at all?
Nothing up there.
No.
It's going to be a low slope roof to
Low slope roof, so
mitigate...
no storage, nothing up there?
No storage, no attic. We're trying to mitigate the height of the structure because we don't want to be too high.
Okay. I will ask for the members to offer a continuance for this, and there are a few reasons that we'd like to have the applicant present next time, himself, to address all of the parking concerns, because it is valid that there is excessive parking, and that end, it's a dead end, but on that end of the street. And as far as his truck, the abutters have been advised to call the police, because the way that the ordinance reads, he shouldn't have a commercial vehicle on there, so if you're going to speak to the applicant, just let
I
him know
will
that
explain it
that
to
has
them,
nothing
but-
to do with the Board of Appeals, but privately they were advised to contact the police. And on the return, it's that the actual certified plot plan be done correctly to depict the parking. If there is a request for a variance of parking, it has to be amended and added,
Yes,
because there should be 4 spaces.
yes.
It probably would be a parking in the front yard variant, because based on this, if they were going to put 2 cars on the side, if they'd probably need front yard parking, and that would be a variance.
The only area on the property that's available for parking is in the front yard.
So they'd have to ask for a front yard variance, so that 4 vehicles would be parking on the property. Okay, so is there a motion to continue? Motion to continue?
Question now comes on continuing this to the next meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeal on July 26th. Mr. Bacilli? Yes. Mr. Corrin is absent. Mr. D'Angelo? Yes, to continue. Mr. D'Angelo?
Nick, continue? Yes?
Yes. Mr. Mazzoni? Yes. Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Yes. This is continued to, is it July 26th?
July 26th.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we can vote on the first calendar item number.
This is the application of 90 Ocean Avenue LLC, seeking variance to enable the appellant to construct 6-story, 75-unit building with 75 parking spaces at 90 Ocean Avenue.
And please incorporate Robert O'Brien's letter regarding the restrictions of the lease and the parking be included.
Robert O'Brien letter to be included as a condition of...
As a
the-
condition, yes.
The Economic Development Director's letter will be incorporated as a condition of the vote and decision on this matter. Question comes on granting the relief requested by the appellant. Mr. Bacilli? Yes. Mr. Corrin is absent. Mr. D'Angelo? Yes. Mr. Mazzoni? Yes. Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Yes, this is granted, subject to the conditions.
This will be adjourned. Our next meeting will be July 26th. Thank you.